When a woman hurts you, really hurts you, it's not the pain itself that destroys you. It's what that pain pulls out of you. The confusion, the anger, the need to prove something. You start replaying what happened in your head, wondering what you did wrong, what you could have said differently, and why she suddenly seems so cold. Maybe she pulled away emotionally. Maybe she left without explanation. Or maybe she said something that cut deeper than you'd ever admit out loud. And in that moment, every man faces a choice, though most don't even realize it. You can react, or you can respond. Reacting means chasing answers, demanding validation, or trying to win her back just to feel whole again. Responding means something completely different. It means learning to master your emotions instead of being ruled by them. Because here's the truth. When a woman hurts you, intentionally or not, it's not just a test of your heart, it's a test of your center. The Stoic way isn't about pretending you don't feel anything. It's about choosing what those feelings will make of you. Will they make you bitter, resentful, and reactive? Or will they make you calmer, clearer, and stronger than before? In this video, we'll break down exactly how to handle a woman who hurts you without losing your self-respect or your peace of mind. You'll learn the psychology behind her behavior, what it actually means when she withdraws or lashes out, and how a Stoic man transforms pain into power. Want to know what really happened and why? Mark had always been the kind of guy who gave everything in a relationship. He wasn't flashy, wasn't trying to be someone else. He believed that if you loved hard enough, if you showed loyalty and consistency, things would naturally work out. For the first few months, everything felt right. She was warm, affectionate, always wanted to talk, always wanted to be close. But slowly, that energy changed. The texts became shorter. The calls came less often. The excitement in her voice faded. And when Mark asked if something was wrong, she'd say, "No, everything's fine." He could feel it, though. The distance. The silence between messages. The indifference in her tone. Then one night, after a small argument about something trivial, she said something that hit him like a brick. "I just don't feel the same anymore." No warning, no real explanation. Just that. Mark felt blindsided. His mind raced. What did I do wrong? Why didn't I see it coming? Was it me? Was it someone else? He replayed every moment, searching for clues. He texted her again later that week. No reply. Then another message, more emotional this time. Still nothing, and that's when it happened. The overthinking, the need for closure. He started checking her social media, reading into everything she posted. He'd see her laughing with friends, smiling in photos, and his stomach would tighten. How could she move on so easily when he was still trying to understand what went wrong? He didn't want to admit it, but her silence hurt more than her words ever did. The absence of care, the indifference, it made him feel small. And so, like many men, Mark made the same mistake most do when hurt. He tried to fix something that was already gone. He thought if he could just show her how much he cared, she'd see his worth again. But instead, every message, every attempt to reach out only pushed her further away, until finally, she blocked him altogether. Mark felt humiliated, empty, angry at her, but even more at himself. He kept asking, how did I let this happen? How did I lose control of myself like that? So where did he go wrong? When a woman hurts you, your first instinct is almost always emotional. You want to do something, to reach out, to talk, to explain, to fix. But that impulse, while human, often comes from fear, not strength. Fear of being forgotten, fear of not being enough, fear of losing something you tied your identity to. That's exactly where Mark went wrong. He confused connection with control. He thought that by acting, by proving, by chasing, he could somehow regain what was already lost. But Stoicism teaches the opposite, reminds us that we don't control outcomes, we control responses. And the more you try to control what's outside your influence, her emotions, her attention, her love, the weaker you become inside. When Mark's messages went unanswered, he wasn't really chasing her. He was chasing relief. He wanted to stop the uncertainty, the pain of not knowing. But that's not how healing works. A woman pulling away or saying hurtful things doesn't define your worth. It reveals your reaction. And in that moment of reaction, your emotions expose your training. Most men have been trained to respond to pain with action. But Stoic men learn to respond to pain with presence. Presence means this. You sit with the pain without letting it define your behavior. You observe it, understand it, and ask, what is this emotion trying to teach me? That's emotional mastery, and that's what Mark had to learn the hard way. Because here's the truth. When she hurts you, whether by leaving, rejecting, or withdrawing, it's rarely about cruelty. Most of the time, it's about alignment. She's following her emotions, while you might still be living through logic. Women often make emotional decisions fast. Men, meanwhile, need time to process. But that difference doesn't mean weakness. It means you have to respond differently. So what should Mark have done instead? First, he should have created distance, not to punish her, but to protect his clarity. When you step back, you regain perspective. You stop reacting to her absence and start reconnecting with yourself. Second, he needed to focus on rebuilding self-respect instead of chasing validation. Every message he sent came from insecurity, not confidence. And women, even subconsciously, can feel that shift. When your energy turns from calm to desperate, attraction dies and respect follows. And finally, he needed to accept a truth that every Stoic man eventually learns. You can love someone deeply and still let them go, because peace is worth more than proximity. Mark began to change when he stopped trying to convince her and started observing himself. He began journaling his emotions, training daily, reading, reconnecting with his purpose, not as a distraction, but as discipline. And with time, he started to see something powerful. Her silence no longer felt like rejection. It felt like information. It showed him who he was becoming, a man who no longer needs validation to know his worth. That's the Stoic way, not suppression, not indifference, but composure. When you master composure, you stop asking, why did she do this to me? And start asking, what is this teaching me about myself? That's the moment when pain turns into power. But even with the right mindset, there are traps that can pull you back into weakness, and most men fall right into them. Even after understanding the lesson, most men still fall into the same emotional traps. They know they should stay calm. Yet their actions say otherwise. Let's talk about the 3 biggest mistakes that destroy a man's peace when a woman hurts him, and what to do. Instead, mistake 1, trying to win her back through sympathy. Don't be that guy who sends long messages explaining how much you cared, how lost you feel, or how much she's hurting you. It never reignites attraction. It only confirms her decision. Women don't come back to men they pity. They come back to men they respect. Instead of telling her you've changed, show it through silence, composure, and progress. Mistake 2. Using anger as armor. Some men try to hide pain by turning cold or aggressive, posting indirect quotes, bad-mouthing her, or pretending they don't care. But anger is still emotional dependency. It just wears a tougher mask. A Stoic man doesn't need to advertise his detachment. He simply moves on with dignity. Let silence do what words never can. Reveal who truly had self-control. Mistake 3. Seeking distraction instead of direction. When hurt, many men rush into new relationships, parties, or endless scrolling. Anything to avoid stillness. But avoiding pain only postpones it. Instead, use solitude to rebuild. Train, read, work on your craft, reconnect with your mission. Pain isn't something to escape. It's something to absorb and outgrow. Remember, reacting is emotional debt. Responding is emotional investment. When you react, you give your power away. When you respond, you collect it back, piece by piece. So don't chase closure, don't chase revenge, and don't chase relief. Choose stillness, self-respect, and steady progress. That's how a man transforms heartbreak into strength. Quietly. Let's bring this full circle. When a woman hurts you, whether she leaves, pulls away, or says something that breaks you, it's easy to believe the pain is about her. But in truth, it's a mirror reflecting you, your attachment, your expectations, your emotional discipline. What Mark learned, and what every man eventually must, is that heartbreak isn't the end of your story. It's the beginning of your strength. Because when she hurts you, what's really being tested is not your ability to love. It's your ability to stay centered in love, to care deeply without losing yourself, to feel pain without becoming bitter, to walk away with grace, not resentment. That's what makes a man respected, not how he chases emotion, but how he commands it. So here's your challenge. The next time someone's words, silence, or actions cut deep, stop before reacting. Breathe. Ask yourself, what part of me is this testing? And instead of running toward her or away from the pain, stand still in it. That's where composure is forged. Write down 3 lessons that the situation taught you, not about her, but about yourself. Turn emotion into insight. Turn pain into purpose. If you do that, you'll realize something powerful. You never lost her. You simply found yourself. And that's what this channel is all about. Learning to master your emotions, not suppress them. To respond with strength, not reaction. And to become the kind of man who doesn't chase peace, because he is peace. If this message resonated with you, hit like, subscribe, and share this video with a man who needs to hear it today. And tell me in the comments, what's one lesson pain has taught you about yourself? Because remember, you're not the result of your past mistakes. You're the man who chooses what happens next.